So I'm Ali Bagley, and I'm going to go through with you everything you need to know about online course development, but this applies to live courses as well. So this is about visibility, growing your tribe, engaging with clients, demonstrating your value. I've put duration 1 hour-ish. I think it's a bit less. It depends on how many questions we have. And as Stu says, if you can put those in the chat and we will go through them afterwards. So I'm going to cover today who I am, why you should have an online course, all about designing your course so that the core of it, how people learn, the actual using of the slide deck and equipment, and then we're going into structuring and a couple of checklists that you really need to keep hold of, blueprinting your course, and then on to the should it be live or pre-recorded, free or paid, payment mechanisms, hosting platforms, all that kind of stuff, pulling it all together, and then a little bit about the distribution and marketing and what's next. And then at the end, we'll go through your questions. So you are also going to get, just put your email in the chat and I will send it to you. You will end up on my email mailing list, I warn you, if you do that, but you will get a PDF of my book, Nailing Your Niche, an example slide deck template to develop your course with suggestions, and these slides in a PDF. I will email all of that out to you. So who am I? And how am I qualified to help you to develop an online course for your business? So I'm a business writer's coach, so it's there in the title. I'm also a best-selling author and course developer, and I work with coaches, CEOs, trainers, all kinds of people on one-to-one and in group courses every day in my role as business director at Emotional Geography, which is MA, and that is just my other business, and I'm sure at some point I'll let you all know about that as well. I have available myself 13 pre-recorded online courses on building business and writing skills, improving mental well-being and geo-emotional mapping. They are all available individually, but they're all free in my writers program. It's called Write Up Your Alley. And they're all free in there. So I'll tell you about that later as well. I developed and delivered business and training courses in corporate for over 10 years, including a 30-day round the world tour, delivering presentations that I'd put together for a business transformation. And I've supported numerous business owners in developing their online courses through this course and as a one-to-one basis service. So that's me. Here's a couple of guys who are saying nice things about me. You can read those later. I won't go into them now, but basically they've been on my courses, they've worked with me one-to-one, and are both very happy with the stuff they've got. So why develop an online course for your business? So first of all, it's a means of demonstrating your expertise or your product to the world so that they know you're there. They know what you've got, you know what you're delivering. It can be, given free, a lead magnet to upsell other services and products. And this, in essence, is what this is today. This today is acting as a lead magnet, and I will show you what I mean by upselling at the end of the presentation. It can also help you to make money while you sleep. I'm sure that everyone here would like to make money whilst they sleep. It helps you to share your knowledge in a particular field to grow your reputation. For a lot of people, it's very important to be seen as an expert in their field, and a course is one way of doing that. It can create a channel for one-to-one engagement. Now, what I mean by that is you provide a course, people get to know, like, and trust you. They see what you're offering, they see what you can do. They may then get in touch with you, book a call with you. You start to build that relationship, and who knows where that can go. And so in essence, a course can attract new clients into your business beyond the course. So it's about visibility and engagement through which you grow your business. Now, the first thing you've got to do is think about the purpose of your course. When you're thinking about your why, you will see by the end of this presentation that it does take a lot of work, time and effort to get it made, sell it, deliver it. And so you need really to be able to stay motivated, to keep on track. You need a good reason to do this. So The benefits for your attendees, think about this when you're starting to plan your course. What are they going to get from you? Is it going to be education, support, advice, coaching and mentoring? Is it going to be something that will help them to grow their business, which is what this particular presentation is? What are they going to take away from the course that's worth their time and financial investment? And does your course deliver a solution to their problem? And this is the core, the nub of any course should be about solving your ideal client's problem. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. The benefit to you of the course is that it will grow your following, increase revenue, upsell your other services, help you to engage with clients, help you to grow your business. So it needs to be a part of your business strategy. So get it in there as part of your overall business strategy. So designing your course, step one, as I say, what problem are you solving? So every course must address your ideal client's pain point. You need to know what that is before you do anything. You then need, through the course, to show them the journey they can take to move away from that pain point. Show them through the course the possibilities they can move towards. And within your course, give them the tools that they can use to get there. Solve their problem. Now, only you know what that problem is. Only you have the answers from your particular expertise and skill set. And it's you that will guide them towards the solutions. And every step on your course must add value to your attendee or purchaser. So step two, whose problem are you solving? Now this film is coming out again in cinemas in a week or two, and I really want to go and see it again because I loved it. This film, for those who don't know, is Avatar. And Avatar is a word we use to describe your ideal client. So your ideal client is the person whose problem you are going to solve through this course. So you need to understand who that is. You need to understand what it is they want, what keeps them awake at night, where they live, where to find them, what they look like. It is a whole other course to work out who your ideal client is. But as I said before, if you want nailing your niche, there is a whole section in here on how to nail down who your ideal client is. So that will help you to know who your course is for. And your course within your business may be for a slightly different client than your whole business generally. You may, let me explain that a bit more clearly. You may have a specific course like this one that is about helping people to build an online course that has one type of target audience, people who want to build an online course for their business. In my other parts of my business, I have a course called Revamp, which is about revamping your home on a budget, which is for a completely different audience. It's aimed at middle-aged women who are starting again, who want to make their home their haven. So completely different avatars for different courses. So think about that one. Oh, I've gone backwards. How have I gone backwards? Okay, so step three is the journey. Now you are the compass. You're the guide. You're going to be taking your attendees on their journey. You're going to be taking them from the point of pain, their point of pain, whatever it is their problem is, their challenges. You're going to take them on a journey where you give them tools to help them overcome that problem, strategies to help them overcome that problem that will lead them to a solution or actions they can take to create the solution for themselves. Now, the best courses, the ones that your attendees will enjoy the most, are the ones that take them on this journey, that take them on a path of discovery from where they are to where they need to go to. So really think about the journey that your attendee is going to be taking for your course, because that will give you the initial strategy and outline for putting it together. Now, there are three main ways that people learn, and it's worth remembering this again when you're pulling your course together. If you can use a mix of all three of the key ways that people learn, then it will appeal to more people. So the key ways are for people to be able to read, to be able to hear, and to be able to see. Now, this particular presentation covers all three. You can read what's on the screen. You can also read the slide deck later when I send it out. You're listening to my voice as I talk you through it. You're not just looking at it with no sound. And you're seeing the pictures, the graphics, how it's all put together as you go along. So I have a good mix of all three. Using a slide deck itself, and we're kind of getting into the mechanics of it all now, there is the traditional Microsoft PowerPoint, or as we say, death by PowerPoint. So you can have so many slides with so much words on it, and it just kills people and they die. This kind of presentation, it's really necessary for me to have slides to show you, to get the point across and the information across, particularly as I want to send it out to you later so that you have got that information quite comprehensively. But this is done on Canva, this one. I've done this one on Canva because I find it's the first time I've ever fully presented live on Canva, so we'll see how that goes. It seems to be working okay so far. I find it's cleaner and clearer than PowerPoint, but you know, everybody can do it their own way. So you've got PowerPoint, you've got Canva to create slides. Canva also is good for putting videos in. If you want to put videos into your presentation, they're always great for keeping people's attention, for putting music over the top, that kind of thing. And maybe you just want to talk to camera. Now, that is a course that will only appeal to people who like to hear and see. They won't be able to read anything, but you may want to deliver as if it were a lecture that you were giving. Your choice. Now, I've created a slide deck for you to use as a starter for your course development. So the slide deck that I'm going to send you is this is a PowerPoint slide deck. It just shows you, this is the title slide, how to create a master slide, which is really useful. The next is the agenda for the course, a page to introduce yourself, maybe put some testimonials so people know who you are. Does this sequence seem familiar so far? Then we introduce the first topic. You might want to drill down into that topic with the problem you're solving, maybe tell a story about you within that topic, maybe give some action and examples within that topic, and show the solution within that topic. And you repeat this cycle of topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4 to cover everything you want to cover in your course. And then there's the stuff at the end where you give the upsell, which I will show you about later, and there are a few more pointers in there. So that's a deck that you can use to create your own courses after this event, or of course you do things your own way. That's perfectly fine. You need to think as well about using the right equipment, and I may be going through this quite quickly here, and you might be thinking, oh, I can't write it down, I can't get it all in my head. This particular presentation is an overview of a much bigger course. This is an introduction, so there are lots of things, but as I say, you are going to get the slide deck print, so you can read it all through afterwards, so you won't miss anything. Using the right equipment. Do you have a decent microphone? I use a Blue Yeti. It was an investment of about £125, but it works so much better than just speaking into your laptop or however you go, particularly if you're going to do a course and you're going to pre-record it, your sound needs to be good. Again, your camera doesn't have to be expensive, but it does need to be a good camera. So a webcam, or use the camera that is in your PC. They're usually pretty good these days. I think the camera in my PC is actually better than my webcam. I need to look into that and get a new one. And you need to think about things like the lighting. Now, if you are particularly just presenting as you yourself, then you really need to think about how you look, the lighting that is coming in and illuminating you as you talk. If you're doing mostly a PowerPoint presentation or a Canva presentation, then maybe it's not so important that you are lit properly. But think about your lighting, your background, what is behind you. Have you got stuff behind you that is distracting particularly? So behind you, it's good to have things that you are also selling. So maybe there'll be some books behind you that you've written, that kind of thing, so that people can see those. You certainly don't want people walking behind you. You don't want the dog trying to join you on the desk as you're trying to record. You don't need your husband in the kitchen switching the washing machine on and boiling the kettle, which is why I've had to give him a teeny little bit of a training session on how not to make noise when Ali's presenting this morning. So I've had a little talk about that. So think about the equipment, the where you're sitting, what you look like, all of that kind of stuff. And I would always say, put on a bit of slap, put on your best smiley face, and look good, and it'll help you to feel much better and much more confident if you actually make yourself look. Because think, how would I dress if I were going to a business meeting with an important client? That's how you really want to dress yourself and put yourself forward when you're presenting any kind of course, particularly live, but even in pre-recorded, where you're just a little face in the corner. All these things are important. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty now of how you actually pull your course together. Can you see there's quite a few things you have to think about even before you start? So there is a standard structure for a course. It's that journey. Remember, you're going to identify problems. Maybe within your course, you will discuss the challenges. So by discuss the challenges, I mean you talking about them, or even opening the floor to people to discuss what challenges they are actually facing. Share your experiences, share others' experiences, propose solutions, and demonstrate benefits. And then within there as well, there's create activities that people can do. There are tips pages, you can put quizzes in, there's all kinds of things that can go in there, but that's a very basic journey structure. Each section you create must have value, answer a question, provide a solution, and or create discussion. Now, how many times have you been on courses? I know, particularly when I started in business, I went on particularly every free course that was available to me. Every kind of presentation like this, I was there. I was like at the opening of an envelope. Yeah, there's our. And I learned a lot from all of them. But the best thing was when I could take away what we call a golden nugget. So in every course, you will find golden nuggets, something that just resonates with you, that might be the missing piece to your jigsaw, that might be the one thing that you hadn't realized that is going to make a huge difference to how you work and how you play. So make sure that you're putting some of those in there for people. The things that they might go, oh, I never thought of that. That's a good idea. Try and get some of those in. As a minimum, your course should highlight the problem that your ideal client, your avatar, has. Outline the possibilities for them as a result of coming along and following the course. Direct their focus along that journey line. Take them step by step towards being able to find their solution. Relate with your story. Now, in the full course, I would give you quite a lot of my stories. I realized today we're quite limited for time, so I'm not telling too many stories. But relate with your story. Plan the steps your audience will take along their journey and create positivity. Make sure that everybody who is on your course comes away feeling like they can do this. It's within their grasp. It can happen for them. They can make that change. This particular overview course, I know that some of you watching this are going to go away from it knowing that they have the basics to go away and create an online course for their business. And that gives me joy And that is a positivity that I want to create in people. Your course is a journey from challenge to outcome that needs to be planned. Now, I didn't say it's going to be easy. It's not easy. There's an awful lot of work. This is a before you start checklist. Now, I'm not going to go through it word by word, but this is some of the stuff we've been talking through already and some of the stuff we still need to talk about. So you've got to work out who your audience is, what the objective for the course is for you and your audience. Are your audience moving away from problems or towards achievements? How many people do you need to buy your course or attend your course to actually make it viable? There's an awful lot of background in that as well. Will it be free? Will you upsell services? What will be your key value points, those golden nuggets? What will you offer to participants free to add value? Will it be a PDF of your book, a copy of the slides, a template slide deck that they can use? Adds value. Will you build a networking platform for participants? Now, with my Write Up Your Ali program, I have my Ali Bagley coaching Facebook group that people come along and they join and we can share information, help each other. But I also have a bi-weekly Zoom live free open meeting for everybody on that program. And they come along and we talk about what issues they've got, any problems, help, share, advise, and network in there as well. Networking is every course I do, I enable people to share all their details about who they are, how they can be contacted and everything else. Because for me, networking is the greatest way to grow your business. Courses are superb. The networking that comes from them is probably superb value for everyone involved. What will be your delivery structure, your delivery media? Will you share the slides? How will people register and pay? We'll get to that in a bit. And of course, the subject matter of your course really needs to be thought about very carefully. So that's the before you start checklist. Then you come to building your course. So you're mapping out what you want to cover in each module. You need to do a bit of research, especially if you're using anything in your presentation that you haven't personally created, if you're using quotes, if you're using information or statistics that come from somewhere else. I've just done a course for an Italian company. It's a 2-day course, 8 hours on validating your business. So if you have a business idea, how do you validate it and make sure that it is a good idea? There's a 2-day course on that I've done. And in there, I've had to put in the calculation for return on investment. I haven't got a clue. I looked it up. I got it off the internet and I made sure that I cited where I got it from off the internet within the presentation. It's very important to do that. Same if you use any pictures that aren't yours, you need to make sure that that is approved or paid for, or certainly cited. That's one of the things I love about Canva is there is enough graphics and videos in there to keep you going forever in a day without having to pay for anything. Plan your video content and record it. So you might want to be putting some video into your course. That needs planning as well. Then you're going to develop your script for your slides, how it's all going to run, the journey, and you design that content, highlight the problem, outline the possibilities, direct focus, relate with your story, plan the steps the audience will take, and create positivity. Then when your course is all done and all pulled together, you need to check the timings of it, you need to practice delivering it, record it as a run through and see how it sounds and looks. Remember to check that sound and lighting and background, do any editing you need to do, and then it will be ready to send out to everybody who wants to see it. After weeks of putting it all together with blood, sweat and tears, it will be there. What you're watching now might look like, you know, it could have been put together in a few hours. No, this took at least 3 weeks to pull together in terms of it being professional, checked, everything right in there, making sure it said everything that I needed it to say and giving the value that it needed to give. It takes time to do these things properly. So remember that because you're planning it into your business strategy, you need to plan in the time that it's going to take you to create it in terms of when you want it ready to deliver. Now, this looks really complicated, and this is described again in much more depth in the full course, but you have your start, you know, you give an overview of the course, the housekeeping, safety share, all of that stuff is for live courses. And then you've got a topic, the subheading that goes through problem, story, action, example, solution. Then there might be another element to it, problem, story, action, example, solution. And this is how you build up your course content. Now, then what you do, it's not over yet, brace yourselves. Then what you do is you break each subtopic down into what you want to develop your course content topic into. You make notes against it of any graphics, pictures, or tables you're going to use, all of this stuff. And this is why people pay me to develop their courses, because it takes time to do it properly and do it well. This is again how, when I'm working with clients who want to write their own books, we break the book down in a very similar way in order that the reader goes on a journey from where they are now right the way through to where they want to be. So these are all the templates that I've got. If you want to chat through with me, let me know. But it's all about breaking it right down in order to then build it up into the course that you need it to be. So your course is already all done, all developed, and now you're going to decide, do I do it live or pre-recorded or both? Either is fine. So pros and cons of going live. The benefits of live is participant interaction. So we're going to have some questions and answer them later. You get real-time feedback. There's a better client experience, so better for you. And there's always a networking opportunity in all of my courses. The drawbacks is that it's one time only. It requires participant availability at a set delivery time. So you had to be here at 1 o'clock today. Otherwise, you're going to watch it on the recording. And what I would say, when you have a live course that is delivered over Zoom or any other kind of media, record it and get people to register for it and tell the people who have registered that they can have access to the recording. Don't just say that you'll put the recording out later necessarily, because people just won't turn up. And really, it's a much better experience for people if they turn up live. In pre-recorded, the benefits are for the client multiple use. They can look at it again and again and again. They can go and do it and rewatch it anytime they want to. There's no set delivery time. They've bought it, they do it at their own pace, their own time. Fabulous. The drawbacks is they have no interaction with the person who is delivering the course. You have no control over how they perceive your course or what they're getting from it outside of what you've just said and done in the course. And that's why, again, always, even if it's a pre-recorded course that people are buying, I give them access to my email, so if they've got any questions later, they can come and ask them, so we can make sure that everybody's getting exactly what they need. And of course, if somebody's bought your course and they've got a password for it, they can sit there with 10 other people watching it at the same time, and they've only paid for it. But hopefully that doesn't happen too often. So there's pros and cons to live or pre-recorded. Should it be free or should it be paid? Now, this was done live. We created this live. The last time I presented this, it was blank, and we moved the little green ticks and the red crosses into the boxes. So the general consensus was, amongst about 12 of us, that if you are delivering for the education of your attendees, it should be either free or paid, your choice. If you're delivering specific support, it should be paid for. If you're delivering advice, free or paid. If you're actually coaching, then paid. And particularly if you're giving them something that will grow their business, it should be paid. Now, the benefit to you is, if the benefit is to you in growing your following, it should be free. If it's to increase your revenue, then you need to charge for it. If it's to upsell your services, it should be free. And if it's to engage with your clients or grow your business, free or paid, I would say, for either of those. So think as well, should it be free or should it be paid? And the thought process with that is, by delivering it free, what is going to come later as a result? Or am I just giving it away and that's the end of it? If you're giving it free, you want to be sure that there is something else in your funnel, I hate that word, but something else that will draw your attendees further into your business and your product or service. You need also to think about hosting platforms. So for pre-recorded courses, what you will do is you will record them in short modules. Now, again, this is a whole other course on actually how to do this, but record in sections that are no longer than 5 minutes, because that is the absolute limit of somebody's attention span when they're doing a pre-recorded course. So tiny, tiny little segments that you can cluster into lessons, that you can cluster into groups, into modules, and then you need a way to host that. So you need somewhere to put all of these recordings so that your attendees can access them, and you need to make that journey for them as easy as possible, because otherwise they'll give up before they get to the checkout, and you don't want that. Now, I use a platform called Sandcart, which I love, and I've put a link there so you can click on it when you get the PDF and go and have a look. What happens is I can upload my whole course in lessons and modules. I can attach a workbook, other documents, PDFs of my books. I can create quizzes in there. I can do all sorts of stuff. I can set it to release lesson by lesson. I can set it to release all at once. But the great thing is that people go in, I create a sales page for it, they click on it, they pay, the money all gets sorted, they get registered, they go in and off they do the course, and I haven't even needed to be there. So a platform like that is well worth the investment if you're thinking of having pre-recorded courses for your business. There are many more. Just go and Google online course platforms and you will find loads. Payment mechanisms themselves, again, if your course has gone onto a hosted platform, you can set it up to accept payments by credit card, and then they'll pay you. You will need to set something up like Stripe to process that. You will need to have the PayPal option, so you'll need a PayPal business account, because you want to give your clients the options to pay in the way that really suits them. Now, PayPal I hate because it takes the biggest commissions of everybody else when they pay. But it is a way that people like to pay because I think, again, security. I always say, remember, your credit card gives you a lot of security as well. So I get better rates then through the Stripe way of doing it. What I would say with the payment system that you decide to use, make sure that it works for your ideal client. And this is about client experience. Forget about commission rates. You'll get what you get. This is about the client experience and it being as easy as possible for them to buy your course once it's on there. Okay. Viability, I mentioned this before. How many people do you need to sign up to your paid course to make it viable? Now, there's all that development on the left-hand side, and that development includes all the time it took you to create the course, all the years of training and experience that you went through in order to be able to create the course and share that knowledge and experience with others, all the money you spent on all the equipment that you've got in order to make it happen, your heating bill in order to keep you warm whilst you're presenting. I mean, I could go on and on and on about working out how much it actually costs you to create a course. And I would say that even something short like this has probably cost me in terms of a couple of £1,000 in investment of time and money to be able to get here. So let's say I've got this, it's recorded, and I want to put it onto my platform, which I probably will, because I've pre-recorded it already. And I want to make back some money as a result to, first of all, cover my development costs, but also to give me a bit of income. £2,000, maybe I want to get £3,000 back out of it. So I sit back and I think, so do I need 10 people who pay £300 each for my course? Do I need 30 people who pay £100 each for my course? Would it sell better at £50, in which case I'd need 60 people? And you have to think about those mathematics in order to make your course viable. And if you're live and you are in a live venue, and Sue and I had this conversation earlier, prices of live venues are going sky high. Everybody's up in their prices everywhere. You need to consider all of that within your budget and within your development costs for getting this course out there. So I hope I haven't put anybody off yet with all the work that you need and how much it costs and how much time it takes and everything else. But one thing that is very, very important to me is that what you put out there is quality, is good stuff, is for your people, is to help them to change, to transform and to grow. Don't put, excuse my language, but don't put shit out there, because it doesn't do your reputation any good anyway, but it just doesn't help people. I get so annoyed with all these scammy people all over the internet who say they can make you £10,000 in a month, come on my course, do all this stuff. And they're just rehashing stuff they've stolen from other people. It's cheap, it's nasty, it's horrible, and it never does what it says on the tin. My courses do what it says on the tin, otherwise they're not going out there. So pulling it all together now, we're nearly there. Know why you need a course for your business. There's no point doing it if you don't really need it. Know your audience, their problem, and how to solve it. Develop that journey for your attendee from pain point to solution. Design your course along that journey. Create your slides and script, then get everything in place in terms of equipment and get it recorded, get it ready. Practice your delivery, record your course, edit it if you need to, and then upload it for distribution. So this is the short story. All the rest was the long story. So that is everything that you need to do. And then you need to get it out there. And as I say, there's just where can buyers find and participate in your course. So there's live delivery on Zoom, Facebook Live, YouTube event, LinkedIn event. There's all kinds of different ways you can do live delivery, online and really live. And then the pre-recorded stuff, there's course platforms like Samcart, Kajabi, you can create and deliver from YouTube. You do need a platform to ensure professionalism and ease of payment, ease of journey, because their journey starts, your attendees' journey starts long before they open the first module of your course. Their journey starts with the way you market it, and then they go through that, and then they go through your sales page, and then they go through the payment process, and only then have they got your course. So you need to make this as smooth as possible. Now, marketing, everybody will be sitting here now going, how do I sell my course? That is a whole other course. Apologies, we haven't got all day, but marketing your course is a whole other course. So we're not going to go through that today, but it's all based around your target audience, that avatar. You need to be going out and looking for them, finding where they are, what they like, what they want, and telling stories around that pain point and how you can solve it for them in order to attract them in. That's all I can say on marketing for today. Now, this is the shameless upsell page that I was talking to you about before. I've given you a free course, half an hour or so of information. And now I'm going to invite you to come and join me on my full program. So my program, which is right up your alley, includes all of my pre-recorded courses, all of my pre-recorded masterclasses, PDFs of my books, a one-to-one when you join up. So we work out your journey, which ones you need to be taking, for which of the courses you take first to help you on your business journey. There's also bonus courses in there. The magic of geo-emotional mapping will be made available to you because that will change your life. There is also 2 bonus courses that are in there on confidence on camera, delivered by a lady called Elsa Tulloch, who is a South African film director and TV producer. She's worked on things like Big Brother and Fear Factor and stuff like that. And she talks about how to look confident, look good on camera. There's all sorts of stuff in there, and it is literally just £247. And you will also get every 2 weeks that live Zoom call where you can come in and interact live with me and with others to ask questions, solve problems. So that is my program. I've put the link to it right at the top of the chat, so it's there for everybody already. And if you write that code down and you put that in at the checkout, you're going to get another 20% off that. So it's under £200 when you do that.